Hey, hey, so what's going on, my joyful people? It's Kimberly Morgan, and I am so excited to be here with you. It's been about 3 weeks since I've come in for a Share the Joy, and I am sorry about that, but let's just say it's been an interesting week that I've had. I have never in my life experienced something, I think that they're saying is SI joint pain. I thought at first that it was my sciatic nerve, but come to find out, it's probably the way that the pain is presenting is more of an SI joint issue. And after doing research, of course, I confirmed that. But I wanted to say to you guys, there's a lot of people out there that I know that have issues with this. And there are some similarities in the way that you treat it, but then there are also some big differences as well. And one of the things, because I thought it was sciatic nerve pain, I ended up probably exacerbating the issue by doing certain exercises that created more of an issue with my SI joint in the very beginning. And when I talk about the kind of pain where you can't even step down and walk and you feel like that nerve pain is shooting up through your body, it's pretty intense. So for those of you out there who have this and it's on a frequent basis, I take my hat off to you and say, if you've been living with it for some time, God bless you, and I'm praying for you. But I wanted to kind of talk about some natural ways in which you can alleviate that, some things that I have done, where I am right now, and how I'm actually, walking again and able to do that. Now, resting is huge, but let's first talk about what they call a collagen repair diet, okay? So a lot of you have read my book, Share the Joy, 52 Weeks to Abundant Health. And one of the things that I used to drink all the time was bone broth. And I did that to heal my gut. Well, that is also one of the ways in which you can help with anything going on joint related at all. And even some things that come down to the piriformis and allowing your body to have what it needs for the muscles, the joints, ligaments, and tendons. So consuming bone broth, using it in cooking your vegetables. Also, if you're fine with sipping it, it is a bit gamey at times, I tell people, but it's well worth it. And that was one of the things that helped heal my digestive system. So I will be incorporating bone broth back into my daily regimen. Actually, when I get off this phone, I'm about to go take some right now. The other thing is foods that are high in omega-3s, so fatty acids. So getting some more omega-3s, even if you have to take it as a supplement, that's something that would be really, really helpful in order to get into your body for an actual repair diet. And then anti-inflammatory foods, and this is huge, okay? So anti-inflammatory foods, vegetables, especially green leafy vegetables, fruits, doing things, eating salmon, things like that as well. Turmeric is huge. Ginger is also another big for anti-inflammatory type foods, but staying away from things like donuts and sugar and potato chips and all of those kinds of things that create the inflammatory response in our bodies. Even some of those things like gluten and dairy can create inflammation in the body. So I urge you to, to do that if you can, making sure you're thinking about the type of diet that you're consuming. Also, posture correction exercises. So one of the things that really, really helped is seeing an amazing chiropractic doctor. She changed it, but also a physical therapist. And one of the things that I did was I asked a question about why is pain so significant at night? And sometimes we do things like, I'm not one to really voice and put on Facebook when I'm not feeling well or when things aren't going well. And this was more me just trying to find answers to a question about pain. I just was like, are there any scientific journals out there, anything like that? But it caused one of my physical therapist friends to call me and to say, hey, Kim, tell me what's going on. She's like, I don't think that that is something going on with your sciatic nerve, because that would be going down your leg. But she talked about it going from the hip joint up towards the back would be more SI joint. So it helped me to research and figure out what was going on. So getting with a good therapist, whether it be a chiropractic doctor or a physical therapist, is huge. Acupuncture is also really big for both sciatic nerve issues and SI joint issues. So that's another form of natural therapy. The other thing, supplements that you can do. Turmeric, Always anti-inflammatory, huge. So if you take turmeric supplements or use turmeric in your food, that would be awesome. And then some places you can even find turmeric essential oil. So I don't have that in my arsenal, but it may be something that I'm searching out because they did talk about that. And then ginger as well has been known. So ginger tea, ginger root, like, grinding that up and actually making your own ginger drink or smoothie. Bone broth protein powder, and I do know that there's actually bone broth protein powder out there that you can do where you can make your own protein shakes, and that's great. And I would say do it without dairy, so something like a coconut milk or an almond milk or something like that without carrageenan and a lot of extra additives. You want to make sure you look for that. And then green tea. So those are other supplements that can be really helpful. And then the things that most people and doctors and people tell you is ice for inflammation. But one of the things that a lot of people do, they'll ice too long. So you want to make sure that you're only icing for 10, no more than 15 minutes. You can do it up to every hour, like on the hour or whenever you start, but making sure that you're not doing it for a too prolonged period of time. And then also heat when needed to relax the muscle, because especially when I was having such pain, I was having muscle spasms and it was not releasing the muscles. So I have not heard of bio coffee. So I would have to do research on that, because you know me, I'm always, what are the ingredients, what's in there, what's natural, what's not. So I can definitely do some research on that one, Sherry, unless you have something you want to send me. So those are some of the things, exercises and things like that. I tend to stay away from telling people because you never want someone to do something. Like I said, I was exacerbating probably the issue with some of the exercises I was doing in the beginning when I just thought I had a like crink in my hip and I was still walking and feeling good. So I will tell you that you can look out there for exercises to do for either one, but making sure you're treating the right thing. Like that's the biggest advice that I could give you right now, is making sure that whatever you're doing, whenever you have a certain type of pain, especially hip pain or back pain, that you realize what it is that you're treating so that you're not doing something counterproductive. But the other piece that my chiropractic doctor said is that your body will tell you what it needs, meaning does that feel good? Is that releasing? Is that helping? As opposed to if somebody says ice, and ice makes you lock up and feel horrible, then maybe you need to do heat in that time. So listen to what your body's telling you to do as well. So I hope that that was helpful. If you are someone who knows someone who has some SI joint pain, if you didn't even know what some of the signs and symptoms of SI joint pain are, I really wanted to also show you a couple of the things that I use that were very, very helpful. So everybody, not everyone, but a lot of people know that I have something called a biofeedback scanner, which will tell my body, it's a Zyto scanner, what it needs when it comes to certain products that I own. And it told me immediately that I needed something called Nature's Ultra Joint and Muscle Balm, which is a CBD 300 milligram rub. And I use that and still use that and rub that. And then I also use the oil Panaway, which is an essential oil that has wintergreen in it, and that's also known to help. And then I used internally this CBD oil to help with pain and joint pain. So I'll tell you that as much as the natural things, but then I also I'm not gonna lie and say that I didn't use 3 rounds of 800 milligrams of ibuprofen as well to take care of some of the inflammation there that I needed to, that it wasn't happening as fast with some of the more natural products. But once the inflammation was down, I switched to using more things just like this to help mitigate where I was. So just know that there's a lot out there. Do your research, reach out, talk to people. But this is something that I never had to research before because I've never felt this way in my life. And I really pray that I never, ever have to feel this way again. And I've been doing a lot of resting and sitting. So if you haven't seen me much, that's the reason why, but I'm doing well and I appreciate you guys coming in. This is my anniversary. It's my 3rd year. I cannot believe I've been doing Share the Joy for 3 years. And I thank all of you who kind of come in and watch and give me love and share these out. And you never know. The reason why I do, and I call it Share the Joy, if you guys don't know, it's not about sharing Kimberly joy, meaning me, but it's the joy of knowledge, and it's the joy of helping people learn how to use natural products as best they can to mitigate the amount of chemicals that they take into their body. And so it's joyful in that way, and that you're helping someone. So even if you aren't suffering with an SI joint issue or a sciatic nerve issue, maybe if you forward and send this message to someone or hit the share button, you in turn can help somebody else not feel bad, and you shared some joy to help them alleviate something that they're going through. I also put these on YouTube, so not all yet, I will have by next week all of the videos uploaded that I have ever done. And so it's a catalog. So if you're ever looking for something that you're like, oh, I know I watched her do something a few years back, they're there. All right. So, and I think you'll see that I've never repeated a subject. So I think I'm doing pretty good on my research. If you have anything you want me to talk about, research, and kind of give you information, you know, I love doing that and I love helping you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to go ice my hip and start to feel better. I've got another chiropractic visit today, and I'm looking forward to being back to 100% soon. But I love you guys. Remember to share the joy, and most importantly, do all things with joy. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.